I guess at a dance for la fiesta. I think that's where we met because I was going around with another guy at the time. A Benicio Perea. He was from Corrales, you know. And since we were in school, you know, I only went to the 8th grade. But when we were in the 7th grade, we used to have boyfriends from Corrales. Yeah, about 6 of us girls, you know. We used to meet. Well, they never let us go on dates, never. Especially me because I didn't have a mother. And my father was very strict, and so were my brothers. I had 5 brothers that I couldn't get out. And the other girls would meet the boys, but I could never go out, you know. But we had this, every one of us had a boyfriend. My boyfriend was a Benicio. I went around with him for about 3 years, not going out with him, just meeting at the dances or at the fiesta, you know. At the fiesta in Satilla or Bernardillo or Alameda, you know. We used to meet them there, but we used to talk to them, not go out with them, talk to them. And I was going around with Benicio, and Mike knew me, but I didn't know him. I knew all his brothers, except him and Natividad. I didn't know him. But I knew Rafael, Tequel, Manuel, la Tane, y la Rita. But I didn't know the rest of the family. And I was going around with Benicio, and Mike said he was always following us, you know, but I didn't know who he was. So, one year for the fiesta, it was a San Juan fiesta. My father used to bring us to the fiesta, you know. We never came alone. We walked from Edith to the church over here. For the fiesta, it was San Juan fiesta in June. And we went through the Catpa. You know, they had the Catpa there where the people were dancing, and they had another dance at the hall. But everybody went to the Catpa because they liked the Catpa better. The music was beautiful there. So, we were at the fiesta. Yeah, we were at the fiesta. At San Juan fiesta. And there was a dance over here by the church. They had a big dance, the Catpa. We used to call it a Catpa. And we were there. And I had another boyfriend, you know, and he was always standing in back of me. We couldn't talk face to face because my father was watching, you know. We had to talk and, you know, but not face each other. Okay. But my first boyfriend didn't dance. So, Mike used to dance, you know. And when I was there, Mike was always around looking for me, you know. And I didn't even know him. And then he used to come and ask me to dance. So I danced with him, you know. And then his brother, Ralph, would come and dance with me too. And then I danced with Ralph one piece and with Mike with another piece. My boyfriend didn't dance because he never danced before. So that's the way we met, you know. And okay. And it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My daddy came and said, "Come on, girls, let's go home. It's late. Let's go home." So we had to leave. And we had to walk from the church to Edith, about 3 miles, you know. So my Mike knew that we were going to walk. And he had a big truck, you know, big truck. And then he'd follow us. And then we were about half a mile from the church. Mike would stop and told my daddy, "Are you going to Las Lomas?" We used to call it Edith Las Lomas. And my father said, "Yes. You want to ride? I'm going that way." He wasn't going to go, but he wanted to. So my daddy said, "Okay." So we sat in the truck with him, and he took us home, you know. And we didn't talk or nothing because we couldn't in those days. They were very strict with that, you know. So he took us home, and then at night, my daddy would bring us to the dance again. And then Mike was there, and then he would dance with me. We'd come to the tent, to the Catpa. Okay. And then about 10:30 or 11, my dad said, "Okay, let's go home." I said, "Well, can we stay until 12? No. My daddy said, "After 12 o'clock, the devil is loose." El diablo anda suelto. Let's go home. So he took us home. And Mike would follow us again, and he gave us a ride home. But my daddy didn't, you know, he didn't, no. Well, that's the way we started, huh? Okay. We went around for about a year, you know, and nobody knew about us, you know. And my brother knew Roman. He was very good, and he thought they were good to me and Jose. Militon was very mean. He didn't let me go out. Okay. And every time Roman came from where he was working, he used to come home in a brand new car. Roman had a very good job. He was a chef for Fred Harvey, you know. He worked for 25 years for Fred Harvey. And he came home with a brand new car. And when he came home, Virgil used to get this key. Here, Lola, go ride. Go take a ride in my new car. I said, I don't know how to drive, Roman. Well, I didn't. I was only 14 years old. And he said, well, we'll learn. And my brother, that used to say, next time, take the key. I'll show you how to drive. Take the key. So the next time he'd give me the key, I took it, and Titazo would show me how to drive over there in the llano, over there on top of the hills over there. There was nobody there, you know. He used to take me over there and show me how to drive. So the next time he came in Florida, I knew how to drive, you know. And then I used to get the car and go to Corrales. That was before I knew Mike, you know. Okay. Then when we went, it was about the second year I was going around with Mike, and Mike said, I'm gonna go ask your father. I want to tell him that I want to be your boyfriend. If I can come to your house, and you know, and I said, no, don't do that, no. I said, yes, I will. So one year for the fiesta, he came with my brother Roman, and he went to my father's place, and I saw him. When he got to my house, I ran away and went to another neighbor's house. I didn't want to be there. And then I told my father that he was my boyfriend and that he wanted to come to the house and visit me or take me out. And my papa said, you cannot take her out. You can come and talk to her here at the house. But that's it. Okay. We dated for about a year like that, you know. He used to go to my house on Sunday and we talked in the living room, and that was it. No going out with nothing. So, well, after about 2 years after we've been going around, he wanted to get married. Father, you want to get married? She said, no. Okay. We were engaged 3 years before we got married. But she didn't get married. Okay. Finally, he said, I'm going to get married whether you like it or not. Mike was afraid to lose me, I guess. They were very religious. He used to have a lot of books, which I still have my books. Yeah, I'm going to listen to the books tonight. And my father used to get up in the morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, build a fire in the wood stove, and put the coffee pot to make coffee in the morning. And he used to get the lamp because in those days there was no electricity, no gas, no nothing, you know. And he used to light the lamp, you know, the lamp, yeah. And he used to read his books every morning. By the time it was 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, we got up and the kitchen was already warm, the coffee was already made, you know. And I made breakfast and we ate breakfast, and but my father was always reading his books. So Aundia was 14 years old when my mother died. I was 6, Vera was 3, Dad was 8. You know, we were the youngest. And the other brothers were all 6. Then when my sister was 14, she stayed with us 5 more years, you know. Yeah. And then she married my brother-in-law, you know. And then they stayed 1 year more with us, and then they moved out. They built a house here on 43. So by the time they moved from my house, I was only 12 years old. Then I was the lady of the house because I was the oldest, you know. And I was with my father until I got married. Got married when I was 19. Every day I missed the bus because I was never ready. See, we didn't have a bus like today. We have a car driven with horses. Yeah, a car driven with horses, you know. And the car would come by about 8 o'clock in the morning. But I wasn't ready. I had to get up and fix breakfast for my father and my sister and my brother and myself. And then I have to put up the bed, get ready, give my father some food so he can eat at noon. By the time I finished, the car would leave me. And I had to walk 3 miles from my house to school every day. And then, okay, I got to school about 9:30 in the morning. And then the teacher, after school was out, she used to tell me, Lola, you have to stay in and make the work that you didn't do in the morning. So I'd stay in. The bus would leave me coming back. I had to walk home 3 more miles. I got home at 5 o'clock in the evening, straight to the stove, built a fire, and start supper. I didn't have time to study. I don't know how I graduated from the 8th grade because the teachers were good to me. They used to help me a lot. Yeah. They knew I was an orphan. And they knew that I couldn't get to school in time, you know. They never got mad at me, but I had to stay at the school and do what I missed in the morning. Yeah. And that's the way it was until I got married. Oh, yes. I played when I was in the sixth grade. There was a team of girls that played basketball. I was in the second team. One time, one year, one day, they were playing with Bernalillo. Bernalillo was a high school. And the girls from Bernalillo were beating the Alameda girls. like, and then one of the forwards in the first team, he made a foul. He made 3 fouls. So they put me in her place. Okay. And I started playing, and I was real fast. Okay, since I walk so much every day, I could run. I could run, real fast. And I started playing basketball. I used to be making baskets, but it was too late, The girls from Bernalillo were already ahead of us. So, but then from then on, they left me in the first team. They didn't. They took the other girl out and put me in the first team as a forward because every time I threw the ball, I made a basket. So I played 3 years basketball when I was in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. The 3 years I was in the team, we won champions. Yeah, the first year that we played, we won champions. They gave us a silver cup to keep in the school. Okay, they gave us a new basketball. They gave us some pair of tennis shoes to each girl. Yeah, and one of the fathers of the teachers gave us a little bolsita de oro. ¿No está aquí? Like a bolsa de oro. It's a $5 coin. But they call it bolsa de oro. No, yeah, it was money. No, it was $5. Yeah, $5. But they used to call it bolsita de oro. Yeah, it was $5 for each girl. And we get to keep the cup for the whole year. The following year, we play the same thing again. And if we won the second time, we keep it. But if we lose, we have to give it to the one. But we won again. The third year was hard. And then the third year, if we won 3 years in a row, we could keep it. The last year, it was the girls from Santa Barbara and Candelaria were big and were good. We had to play with them, Well, we played with all the schools in the county, Okay. The 4 teams that won most games played in the tournament. We used to play the tournament over there in the Lincoln High School, City. It was a big team. I used to play there for decide who's going to be champions that year, So that year, 4 teams were going to decide Alameda, Old Town, Candelaria, and Santa Barbara. Okay. The day we were going to go play in the tournament. And then my father, it's funny, my father knew that I was going to play. And he said, I'm going to stay home and pray for you so you can sleep. He used to pray in his book. He used to light a candle. And every time we're going to go play, Okay. Then every school used to go to the gym to see us play, And that year, I wish we don't have to play Santa Barbara or Griego. They're good, but we get to play Old Town. So it wasn't bad because we beat him in the morning. Santa Barbara and Candelaria played together in the morning. In Santa Barbara won. So in the afternoon we had to decide. We had to play with Santa Barbara, and they were big. And you know what they used to do to me? They used to get me from my ears, and they didn't let me run. And then they would take count a foul on them because they would let me run because I knew I was fast. Yeah, we had bloomers and midi, Yeah. It wasn't like now that they have shorts. No, we had to play with bloomers and long stockings. Okay, and that year we were playing, and those Santa Barbara girls were good. They would make a basket, we make a basket. They make a basket, we make a basket. And they were 1 point ahead of us. And the game was almost over. And we had to make another basket if we wanted to win. Well, I couldn't get the ball. They wouldn't let me get the ball. See, the 2 guards would guard me. And they wouldn't throw the basket to the other forward because they wanted me to get the ball because they knew if I get the ball, I would make a basket. But I couldn't get it. Finally, I got the ball. But I was in a corner way far from the basket. and everybody in the team called Lola, shoot. But I was too far. But I didn't have no choice, but I threw the ball and I made the basket. I did this, and the ball hit the basket and hit the ground. They blew the horn. The game is over. We won by 1 point. And everybody from the team ran over to where I was to hug me. You know what the boys did? They all got me in Brazos, and they put me on their shoulder and they paraded around the gym with me. And guess what I was doing? I was crying. I was crying. I was too excited, you know. I was crying, and everybody was singing and yelling, and they had me on their shoulder, the boys, you know. The boys team, you know, and coach, Mr. Herrera, and they all parade around the gym with me. And I was crying, but we got to keep the cup for 3 years. And I used to play basketball. I used to play baseball with the boys. I used to run in the track meet. But you know why I was fast? Because since I was so much every day, that's why my legs don't hurt. That's why my legs don't hurt, because I was so much when I was young. I had to work day and in the evening and in the morning. Yeah. 19, 24. He was 5 years older than me. He was a good husband. Oh, we had a good marriage, you know. After we built this, well, we didn't build my house until my father died, because we only had these 2 rooms, you know. But after my mother-in-law gave us the papers, they wanted to buy the property on the state. Then I went up there, you know. And then when my father died, all my brothers and sisters gave me his land, because I took care of my father for 15 years. We had him with me, you know, with us. And I took care of my father until he died. And after he died, my brothers and my sister decided to give me his land. He had about 1.5 acres of land. We used to plant his garden, you know. He gave me his land. And that's how I have a house. We sold the land that my father gave me, and we built a house. That's how I built it up. My father built it. We sold that land for $1,000. In those days, imagine an acre and a half for $1,000. Imagine how much an acre is worth now. 30,000, 50,000. Yeah, but we only got $1,000 for the land. But then we have to pay the surveyor. There was $100. The surveyor, you know. He leave us about $900, you know. And then Papa bought some blocks to add. We had these 2 rooms. This is adobe. These 2 rooms is adobe. But then he started building all around, you know, the block. Him and Mike was really used to Delphi. And then Mike built a whole house, you know, and then put the roof, and that was it. Inside was, we didn't have nothing inside. Little by little, we started fixing a room, and we didn't even have a bathroom, just you know, just a room, but we didn't have nothing in it. And we took it about maybe 8 years to finish the whole house. Well, he did it himself. Yeah, retired. Yeah, he was a good man. He was a millionaire. He was a good man. He was good to Mike, because Mike knew how to do his work, you know. And he liked the way Mike worked, because Mike was very neat, you know. He didn't go into the houses with his dirty shoes, or, you know, he didn't mess up things. It was real clean. And Mr. Tyler and Mrs. Tyler both, they liked him very much, you know. He used to fix everything for her, put the curtain rod and the carpet and tile and everything. He used to do everything for Mr. Tyler. And Mike was like a son to him, you know. He was very good to him. I remember when we were going to go to Alaska, because my 2 boys were in the Air Force, and Jerry was always in Alaska. But Mike, they never sent him to Alaska. And he wanted to go to Alaska. So 1 year, when Mike needed 3 more years to complete his 1 year in the service, he asked to be sent to Alaska because Jerry was there. And they sent him to Alaska. And see, it's very odd because they never have two sons in the same day. But the two of us were there. When Mike got over there, he called us. He said, Mom, Dad, come and visit us. We're in Alaska. Come and visit us. Mike said, you want to go? He said, well, if we can afford it, let's go. So Mike was building a house for Mr. Tiger over there on Rio Grande Boulevard. He was building a house for him. And he told Mr. Tiger that we wanted to go to Alaska to visit my son. And he said, when I finish the house, I want to go. He said, okay, you can take 2 weeks off. Okay. When he finished building the house, Mr. Tiger said, when do you plan on going? Mike said, I think we're going to go in June for 2 weeks. He said, okay. So guess what Mr. Tiger did? He went and got the tickets for us. Yeah, paid $800 and some dollars to buy 2 tickets round trip. And the day before we were going to go, Mike went over there and told him that we were going to leave in 2 days. Because I said, here, the tickets to Colorado. He paid for them. Yeah. He was so good to Mike. Very good. Yeah. He always took care of Mike like if he was his own son. But look what Mike did. He built all those big motels for him. And he even did the plumbing. Everything for him, he didn't even charge for the plumber with us, he just got his pay every week, but he did everything, even the swimming pool. When he built the desert inn here in 10th and Central, Mr. Tanya wanted to build a swimming pool because the people wanted a swimming pool, and then he called these people that used to make swimming pools, and they said they couldn't build it because there wasn't enough space, I guess, So Mr. Dye was very disappointing. So Mike, they couldn't build it. Mike said, why? They said they couldn't do it. And Mike said, you want me to do it? And Mr. Dye said, can you make a swimming pool? And Mike said, I'll try. He did it. He built a swimming pool for Mr. Dye. And then he built another one for him over there on the desert sand. Mike built 3 motels. Not what Mr. Dye, the Camino Large. He built the whole thing. He built the dining room, the Camino dining room. The desert sands in the 10th Central, the desert sands in East Central over there, and then he built about 10 houses on Cayo Road. He even built Mr. Tiger's house. He was coming from the bar over here, from La Conga, we used to call it La Conga. I guess he would come, he walked over there, since he's not so far from here, he was coming, and he fell on the drainage. He was in the winter time. And how he got out, I don't know, because I was home, and we hadn't finished the house. We had our bedroom, our beds in the living room, because we didn't have the bedrooms finished or nothing, And I was asleep when I heard a voice on the door. Lola, Lola. I said, somebody's calling me. And I woke up and then I went to the door. There he was, oh, Marty. He had just gotten out of the drainage. And I said, what in the hell are you doing? I'm doing the drainage. And I said, don't come in the house. You're too dirty. So I went outside and I took all the clothes outside in the porch and I got a blanket and wrapped him in the blanket and bring him in the house.
Did you smack him?
Yeah, I did. I did. I used to do that when he used to drink, We used to go drinking and eating. When he used to drink, he used to go out for about 2-3 days. He started coming home. When he came home, I slapped him. But he didn't mind, he said, go ahead, slap me, I know I did wrong. Go ahead. He never touched me. It's a good thing he never raised his hand to me. But he knew that he was wrong and I was right, But then after he left, and he used to get sick. He used to drink, used to get sick. One time he was so sick that I took him to a doctor and I told the doctor, can you cure him from drinking so much? He said, yes, if he wants to, I can put him in the hospital and I can cure him. And I told him that you might want to leave it, I don't want to drink anymore. So we took him to the hospital and he was in the hospital for about 2 weeks. And when he came to the hospital, he only weighed 106 pounds. He was so skinny. Yeah, but he made it. And And then after that, when he didn't drink, he used to work, and we went places. I'm glad because I was looking at a movie the other night. It was about the Pope, and I saw all Rome. And I remember when we were there, we got to go to Rome. Yeah, it was a beautiful place. We got to see all the basilicas over there. We had mass with the Pope. We were there when they canonized Mexican Holy. Yeah, it was beautiful. And then we went to Spain. It was a beautiful trip. 17 days in Spain. Mm-hmm. We went to Costa del Sol. We were there 8 days. And we went to Seville, to Toledo. Toledo was the oldest city in Spain. It was the capital of Spain in one time. But when we were there, Madrid was the capital. Yeah. And we went to Alaska. Everywhere where my boys were stationed, we used to go. We used to travel. We even went to Mexico City. We went to Mazatlan, to Mexico City. Yeah, just to go, you know. Yeah. Went to so many places. To Kino Bay when Tyler had his hotels over there. He used to take Mike over there to do some work, and I used to go with him for 2 weeks. What would you do there? What would you do? Nothing. And Mike would work, and me and Mrs. Tyler would go out and walk around the beach, the ocean. And one time they took us. Mr. Tyler said, "I want to take Mike fishing in the ocean." So we went in his big boat, he had 2 drivers, and Mike, well, I guess he was afraid of water. I don't know, he got seasick, and we had to take him down, on deck, because he was throwing up, and he was so sick, so we had to turn back. He didn't get to fish. He got sick. Yeah. And when we went to Catalina Island, también, we were going in the boat, from San Pedro, California to Catalina Island. It took us a whole day to get there. And we were going, I told Mike, let's go out and the deck and see the water. He said, no, I can't. I can't. He used to get dizzy, Yeah, but I did. I went and I stayed over there. We had beautiful trips. Beautiful. Everywhere. I got to know every place. I got the books. You read some of it. Yeah. I still have some books. Whenever you want to read them. So we had a good time after we got on our feet because Mike was so good to me, And then Mike didn't mind when I was taking care of my father. But my father was just a mom. My father liked him and loved him. And indeed all my brothers liked him. Who did you work for? Fred Harvey. It was a Santa Fe. It was a big restaurant for the Santa Fe. Santa Fe. We used to have a building here in Albuquerque at the first street. There was a big house, the Harvey house. Remember the Harvey house? I don't know why they threw the building down when there was a historic building, And he started working there when he was 18 years old. When he graduated from the 8th grade, he went to work for Fred Harvey as a busboy. And he learned cooking and everything in the kitchen. He went up to be a chef, Worked for 25 years for Fred Harvey. He moved from place to place like Topeka, Kansas, Houston, Texas, California, all over. Had him all over. And he was a good worker. He was a good son. He used to have good cards. And after he got out, he married a young girl. He was only 39, and he married this girl. He was only 17 years old. But she was in love with him. Well, I don't think she was in love with him. She wanted to get married to get away from home. I think that's what she wanted, because she married my brother. They were married for 5 years, and then she wanted to go to California. My brother had a job here in Albuquerque at Casa Bañana. He was working as a cook there, but she wanted to go to California. And my brother went. He said, well, I'll go ahead and see if I can find a job. He found a job right away over there, but he couldn't find a a place to rent, you know. And he couldn't send for her because he couldn't find a place. But she left anyway. She went to California. She took out a loan and went to California and took Eva and Lala and another niece with her. She took 4 people. And my brother, they had a place to live over there. So when they got over there, my brother said, I don't have a place for you to live here. Why did you come? I didn't send for you. So that same night that she got to California, she went away with another guy from California and left my brother. Yeah. He took just his niece. He left Lala and Eva there. He took her niece nomás. He fue con este hombre. You know, he was married, but he had. She left his niece there, but she took her own niece. Yeah, her own niece. So she was left with her niece. Yeah. And then my brother had another trip down in California. He was so sick, and Lala didn't know what to do with him. He was so sick. But see, she had just been there and she didn't know what to do. So she sent a telegram to my house and said, Auntie Lola, somebody come and help me with my uncle Roman. He's very sick. His wife left him and I don't know what's wrong with him. He's very sick. But none of my brothers or my sister wanted to go. So Mike said, why don't you go, Lola, and take care of your brother? So here I went. Jeanette was only 8 months old. I had Jeanette when she was a baby, and I was breastfeeding her. I had to leave with Jeanette to go to California. Yeah, I took Jeanette with me to California, and I couldn't leave her because I was breastfeeding her. So I went to California. I never have been to California before, and then I asked my oldest brother, Mariton, why don't you go with me? Because I've never been there, and I'm taking my baby. Why don't you go with me so you can help me with my luggage? So he did. He went with me. But 3 days later, he came back and left me over there. So he left me over there. So I stayed with my brother 2 weeks in California. I took him to a doctor over there. I took him to a hospital. And I did everything I could for him over there. Then finally I called Mike and I said, Mike, I want to go home with my brother, but I don't know how. I can manage with him in the train and my baby. And he said, I'll go get you. So Mike and Ignacio, my other brother, they went in a little truck that Mike had. He went to California to bring me home with him. And I took care of him for about 20 years more. Until he died. And he was a good artist. He used to paint pictures, beautiful pictures. Your mother is the only one that has picture, and Dora has one. I don't have any. The one I had, I give it to your mother. But Alfredito has one. The picture of the Spanish señorita. He painted a Spanish señorita when I was in school. I was in a play called La Marquesa de Torres. I don't know. That's the title of the story. A story that the Marquesa de Torres, you know. And like if I was a Marquesa, you know, and there was a king. The story, you know. We had a play here in Alameda. It was in Spanish. And since I knew how to speak and write in Spanish, they gave me the part of the La Marquesa. And then the way I was dressed in the play was with a black mantilla in my head, like in a red robe on my head. And he painted a picture like that. And Alfredito has it.
Oh, so you he painted after you?
Yeah. Yeah. And he painted unos leones grandotes, 2 big lions. The mother lion and the father lion. The mother lion is asleep and the father lion is taking care of her. It's about that big. He gave it to Elfigo. My nephew, he gave that picture to Elfigo. He gave all his pictures away. He was very generous. Like Dora's picture, the one he's got, that's the windmill. When Dora was born, he gave her that picture. He gave that to Dora. And then I have the little house, Mesa Verde. And then your mother told me when my brother died, give me a picture of this thing. If I give it to her, you want a coffee or something? No juice or nothing? Why are you so? That's how we met, you know.
Oh, that's that. That was 2 hours ago.
Dancing in the tent, yeah.
And the what do you call it though?
But the carpa, la carpa, yeah. And the musicians, they used to play like Rito. That was one of the musicians. Rito. He used to play the accordion, and he was good. And everybody liked to dance in the carpa. They never went to the hall. They used to have the pareja hall, but they never went there. You know, the high class people would go there, but the ordinary people would go to the carpa to dance. And it was beautiful. And then we had fiesta for San Juan in September. The fiesta in San Juan was beautiful because they put arcos around the church. You know, they had 9 cabos. They have them now, but they were different. Arcos. Those are arches, yeah. The cabos. The cabos are the people like me and Mike. We were cabos for San Juan fiesta. Yeah, we put
kind of like Maradona.
Yeah, Maradona. We put a table outside like a little altar and then arco around. Arcos, they used to use them in the covered wagons in the olden days. And no, but they are those big things that they used to put them in the altar and decorate them with net, you know, put flowers around. We would put 9 nuts around the church. It was beautiful. In those days, it was beautiful. They named them. Every Tuesday.
What do you pray?
I have a book, Los Martes de San Antonio, Los 13 Martes de San Antonio, the 13 Tuesdays of Saint Anthony. I have the book. It was my dad's.
Why did you?
Because I found them when I was about 6 and 10 years old. See, when my mother died, my mother had a lot of beautiful things in her living room. See, they used to call it el cuarto recibo. That was the living room. They call it the cuarto recibo. Yeah. Okay. My mother had 2 big rooms in the front. There was the cuarto recibo and the guest room, you know. And then in the back, my father built 2 little rooms. Just 2 little rooms, you know, like a big kitchen and a storage room. You know. And then she had my father had another two rooms on the other side where all the boys sleep because we were a big family, you know. And then when my mother died, my mother had a beautiful thing in her living room, you know. And my sister put everything in this storage room. So one day I was looking at all her beautiful things she had, you know, was going to a thing. And in one of there was a big can of beans they had in there, you know. Beans or flour, I don't know what they had in. And I was looking inside of that can, and I found a little bag inside. I said, what is this? I took it out, and there was money. I guess my mother had that money there, and nobody knew about it. I guess he didn't tell anybody about it. And I found, I don't know, I was so young, about 6 and a half years old, or maybe 7. I don't remember. I know that it was money. And when I was in there, one of my aunts from Bernalillo was staying with us, and she heard me in there. She went in the room and said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "No, I'm just looking at my mother's things." And I got the bag and put it behind me. I said, "What do you have in your bag?" I said, "Nothing." Nothing. And she took it away from me. She kept the money. I don't know how much it was. She kept it. I didn't even tell my father about it because she took it away from me, you know. And then I kept on looking, and I found these little 2 saints. I found a little Saint Anthony and another Saint Mi Señora Monserrato. It was a little Virgin, like a Virgin Mary, but it was dark, like black, you know. And I got those little 2 saints, and I said, one was Saint Anthony, and then my tia came again and said, "What do you have there?" "Nothing, but I'm not giving this to you." "No, I'm gonna give them, they're mine." So she said, "Let me see it." So I took, and she took away the this is not good for you. But she left me to say that. And since that day, I know that he's been my patron saint. I found him in the things that my mother had, and I kept him. And since I was growing up, my father used to take us to the fiesta in Sapia. That's where they celebrate Saint Anthony's feast, you know. And he used to take us over there in the wagon every year. He used to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, get dressed, and leave the house about 6 o'clock, to get to Sandia by 7 o'clock in wagon, in the wagon. Yeah, in the wagon, you know. Yeah, and then we went to rest over there, and my father had a friend in Sandia that he used to go with his sister. Because this lady, she was an Indian, but they used to, they raised her in my father's house like a slave, you know. And she used to call my father mi hermano, my brother. And we used to go to her house. We used to meet there for the Sandia fiesta. And we always went to the fiesta de Sandia. And that's why I saw her name to me all the time. And then after I grew up, that I was old enough to know better, I used to walk to Sandia when for the fiesta, you know, until I was too old and had kids that I couldn't walk. But I used to go to the fiestas every year. But I still pray to him. And I have kids in my late 20s when I was little.